I'm sure that you've heard the saying, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, yet expecting a different result. Sometimes we even feel like that about different areas of our lives. We keep trying and trying, yet nothing seems to be changing and nothing seems to be working. If you can relate, then you're in the right place. I'm Rewa, and welcome to Pressing Toward the Mark Productions, a YouTube channel dedicated to broken, hidden women who are searching for a safe place to exchange their broken pieces for God's perfect peace, so that they can live whole and healthy lives. Using the biblical story from John chapter 5 and inspired by my blog, Withered and Waiting, I believe that there are 4 lessons that we can learn from the man at the Pool of Bethesda. In video number 1, When Fear Looks Like Stillness, we talked about fear, the crippling paralysis that keeps us from any type of life movement. Fruit was the lesson from video number 2, When Waiting Feels Wasted. Fruit, the development of patience through prolonged seasons of waiting. In this week's video, part 3, we're talking frustration. Now, for those who may be unfamiliar with the story, let's read the King James Version of John chapter 5, verses 1 through 9. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is at Jerusalem, by the sheep market, a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then first, after troubling of the water, stepped in, was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he saith unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. Now Jesus asked this man a yes or no question. Do you want to be made whole? Instead of an eager yes, an expectant yes, an ecstatic yes, the man gives Jesus excuses. Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. He wants it. He wants to be healed. Of course he does. Why wouldn't he? While his immobility may have been physical, his condition had to have affected every other area of his life. His relationships, his money, his identity, even his spiritual life. The sheep market was near the temple. He was close to God's house, but he still wasn't healed. People would walk by him day in and day out on their way to the temple, but he still wasn't healed. So you know he has to want to be healed, but for some reason he doesn't admit it. Jesus asked him a simple question, yet he gives a complex response. And I believe that he responds this way for one reason: frustration. Frustration. Being upset or annoyed because of an inability to change or to achieve something. Frustration, a common response to disappointment. But frustration isn't just his response. I believe that it is often our response as well. Frustrated because we're embarrassed. Everyone has seen us waiting for the same thing for years. Frustrated because we're used to independence and now we need help. Frustrated because we've prayed and prayed, but it doesn't look like our prayers have been answered. To most, it may look like faith or faithfulness, but we know deep down that it's frustration masquerading as faith. In this new year, maybe you've made resolutions, created a vision board, you chose a word or theme for the year, you may have even chosen an anchor scripture. But even with the new year, new you mantras, did you bring some 2025 frustrations with you into 2026? Or maybe you didn't do any of that. You didn't create a vision board. You didn't choose a word for the year. You didn't create, you didn't come into the year with resolutions. You didn't do any of that. And you didn't do it. Why? Because you're frustrated. Life has been lifing for a long time, and you've been doing the same thing day after day, season after season. You've wanted different, but you keep getting more of the same. It feels crazy, right? Maybe you're dieting and the pounds just won't come off. Maybe you're going to marital counseling, but you and your husband are still in an impasse. Or maybe you're praying for a wayward child, but he was just arrested again last night. Maybe you're tithing, but your bag is still empty. You're frustrated with yourself. You're frustrated with other people. And if you're honest, you're frustrated with God. No, you don't know it, but Jesus has been watching you. He's seen you lying there at the pool at your own Bethesda, and he's walking toward you. You don't know it, but he's seen you lying there, lying, telling yourself that you'll never get a break, telling yourself that it'll always be like this. Jesus has seen you there, lying at your Pool of Bethesda, and he's still walking toward you. As he approaches, his voice simultaneously breaks the silence and cuts through the noise. He whispers to your spirit, "Do you want to be made whole?" Instead of giving him an ecstatic yes, an expectant yes, an enthusiastic yes, you give him excuses. You don't say them, of course, but you're thinking them. You want to be healed. Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? You've been withered and waiting for so long. You've been caught in the tension between paralysis and patience. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You want to be made whole, but you don't or can't admit it. So what do? You give Jesus a frustrated response. It may sound something like this. "Sir, I don't have anyone. I've been waiting here a long time. Every time it feels like something might finally change, when the waters might finally start stirring, when hope might finally start rising, I'm still by myself. I try to move. I promise I really do. But I don't move fast enough. I don't move confidently enough. And before I can get there, someone else is already in. Someone else gets the breakthrough. Someone else gets the healing. Someone else gets the relief. And I'm still here, still waiting, still watching, still wondering if maybe this just isn't meant for me. I'm not refusing help. I just don't have any. And after all this time, I don't even know how to get up on my own anymore. I get it. I've been there. As a matter of fact, I'm there right now. Paralysis feels peaceful and sickness feels safe. You're used to it. Your identity may even be tied to it. Who are you without it? You don't call them excuses. They're your reasons and they're real to you. But why do you believe that healing, that wholeness, is conditional? What do you really want? Are you ready for your life to change? Do you want to be made whole? So like the man at the Pool of Bethesda, why might we be giving Jesus frustrated responses, frustrated excuses? One reason might be a lack of confidence. For the man at the Pool of Bethesda, he'd been losing publicly for 38 years. His intellect couldn't move him. Willpower couldn't move him. What about you? Is there a lack of confidence in your ability to move? Has being sick and stagnant become a state instead of a season? Are you frustrated with yourself? Are you frustrated with yourself because you no longer believe in or trust yourself? A lack of community could be another reason that we give Jesus frustrated excuses or frustrated responses. A lack of community. Sir, I have no man. We know that the man at the Pool of Bethesda was surrounded by people, but yet this statement clearly indicates that he still felt or still was alone. Someone was nice enough to bring him to the pool, but wasn't invested enough to stay there with him. Maybe you can relate because you're the one that's always going hard for other people, but no one goes hard for you. Maybe you're frustrated with others. You're frustrated because you don't believe in or trust other people. So another reason for a frustrated response or a frustrated excuse could be a lack of conscientiousness. Now, for the man at the Pool of Bethesda, he didn't know who Jesus was, and so therefore he could not have known that it was Jesus' desire for him to be healed. He may have even thought that Jesus was asking him a rhetorical question. The Pool of Bethesda was a place that people went because they were sick and they were expecting that they would be healed there. So for Jesus to come and ask him a question, do you want to be made whole? He may have been thinking, well, of course I do. That's why I'm here. That's why I've been here every season, every day for 38 years. Because I'm here because I want to be made whole. Why are you asking me a question when the answer to that appears to be obvious? Well, we may have that same attitude when Jesus asks us, do you want to be healed? A lack of conscientiousness about what Jesus wants to do. See, Jesus wanted to use this man's story, but the man at the Pool of Bethesda didn't realize it. He didn't know that his life was an assignment, and maybe you don't know it either. And for that reason, you're frustrated with God. You're frustrated because you don't either believe in or trust God. Do you want to be made whole? Or are you waiting on an apology or closure? Do you want to be made whole? Or are you waiting to feel ready before you obey what God has told you to do? Do you want to be made whole? Or are you waiting for time to heal your trauma? Do you want to be made whole? Or are you waiting for provision? Or are you waiting to feel like you're enough? Or are you waiting for your body to feel normal? Or are you waiting to get over a past failure? Do you want to be made whole? Now, Jesus doesn't address the man's frustration, which I find pretty interesting. Instead, he gives him directions. And perhaps as women at the Pool of Bethesda, maybe Jesus is giving us the same directives. He tells the man at the Pool of Bethesda, rise, take up your bed, and walk. Rise. You can get up. Take up your bed. Right now, this is about you, not other people. This is personal. Walk. Take the necessary steps to move forward. So sit with this question. Do you want to be made whole? What's keeping you from deciding? What's keeping you from giving Jesus your definitive yes? Now, Jesus is going to ask you to participate in the healing process. If he asks you to rise relationally by being the bigger person, by forgiving, does he still get your yes? If Jesus asks you to rise financially by putting yourself on a budget, no purses, lady, no shoes for a season, does he still get your yes? If he asks you to rise professionally by staying on that job a little longer because someone there needs to see your witness, does Jesus still get your yes? Jesus doesn't give directions without also giving us the empowerment to follow them. You're closer to the healer and to the healing than you think you are. Press on, sis. Press on. Now, if this resonated with you, please like, please share, please comment. You don't have to walk this journey alone. Please subscribe.